Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to the 63rd edition of the Take One podcast. I am your host, August C. Jones, and today I am going to be talking about the first quarter movies. And basically, just if you clicked on this, you already know the title. I'm just talking about the first movies that came out within the months of January, February, and March of this year. So I'm just going to give a little summary and just kind of talk briefly about them. I'm going to be doing movie reviews of those movies, so I'm not going to get too in-depth. But you're going to get my thoughts when it comes to these movies. And yeah, this should be fun. And then also I'm going to talk about the new Meg trailer that dropped last week, and I'm going to be getting into the box office as I do every week with the box office, what dominated this weekend's box office, and then the movies coming out this weekend, as well as my box office predictions for this coming weekend, which really don't have too much going on, but I'm gonna get into it. Whether despite that. Everything is leading up to Avengers Infinity War, which is one of the things that I am really looking forward to. But we're gonna get into all that later on in the weeks and the days leading up to it. But for today, let's go ahead and start off with this new Meg trailer. Now, for those who don't know what Meg is this movie starring Jason Statham, and it's about a megalodon is basically coming out of the depths. For some reason, we don't really get the full synopsis. All we get about this movie is that a megalodon comes out of nowhere after being basically extinct or believed to be extinct, and it's coming to the surface. And now I guess this team of experts, scientists, and whoever have to come together to take this megalodon down. And looking at the trailer, the beginning of the trailer, the way it starts off really was actually pretty creepy, real scary. They're in this underground, under the sea, kind of facility, and it's like a glass window, and you got the little girl playing, and then she looks over and sees this big shark that's coming out that's on the outside, just coming straight at her, and it just literally just floats there and looks at her, and then all of a sudden it bites the glass. But it doesn't break through. But Jason Statham come in, they feel the rumble. He goes down there to check on everything, and he sees the bite marks. And so the trailer goes on with them, not believing in, and then they end up finding proof that the megalodon do exist. And so that's when all the chaos ensues. And this trailer was cool. I didn't know. It was my mind went to three different places. It went back. It had one thought about this movie to when it first started. It was okay, got another thought. And then after the scene that I had just described, it went back to where I was at before. And so basically my mind frame was like this. When I heard about Jason Statham being in a megalodon type movie, I immediately thought, Sharknado, sci-fi. It sounded ridiculous. It was about a megalodon and Jason Statham in there. When you hear a movie about a megalodon, you really don't hear a name like Jason Statham being affiliated with it. In your mind, you don't really affiliate Jason Statham with a movie like that. You would affiliate other actors or something like that, but Jason Statham, you affiliate him with more of an action type film. So when I heard this, I was like, one don't sound like the other. It was kind of like one of those things, but it was whatever. I'll just take it on. When the trailer first started, I'm like, oh, that's kind of creepy. That's scary as hell. You down there in the underwater facility, and this big old shark, one of the most revered creatures in the sea, is right there. And not only is it big, but it is huge, the size of a whale, maybe even bigger. And it's that's just scary to be in a position to where you can see that. And so once that scene ended up going away, and then the little song kicked in, it was okay, I see where this movie is going. So it went from, this sounds ridiculous, sci-fi horror film, whatever, sci-fi, one of the sci-fi original horror films. It's kind of like that. And then it was oh, maybe they're trying to be serious with this. But then once the song kicked in, you saw everything else, oh, Okay, I see what they're doing. They're going for the B movie, the high budget B movie. That's basically what these movies is called. Like what San Andreas was, and it was a movie recently. Gosh, I guess you could say Furious. Furious, Fate of the Furious is kind of like a high budget B movie, just how I viewed it. But yeah, this is kind of like one of them high budget B movies that you would catch on Sci-Fi Original, as a Sci-Fi Original series or a movie or whatever. It looks like it's gonna be done fun. It looks like it's not gonna have any substance. It's not gonna be like putting you like in a thought process after you leave. Like, is that really possible? What's the meaning of life? You know, it's not gonna have. It's just one of those movies that you just go in like, this is like a stupid fun. Let's just go see it. I am gonna check it out. It looks interesting. I don't really expect my socks to be knocked off. I expect to get some type of enjoyment out of it. Anything less than that is disappointing. You know, I'm not really excited to see this movie. Of course, when it comes out, I'm gonna go see it. Of course, but it's just, you know, it's whatever. I don't really view it as, you know, something where it's like, yeah, this is what I'm looking forward to. A big shark and Jason Statham. You know, is he gonna punch it in the nose? I don't know. It just, you know, it was what it was. The trailer was okay. I liked the beginning, but then after that, it was like, okay, now I know how to accept this movie. But in any case, and that wraps that up. Let's go to the box office segment of this, and I'm doing it before the main event, which is my 2018 first quarter movies in review. So I'm just going ahead and knock this out. So last week, for my predictions, I always do this. Last week, I had predictions that number one was basically, well, first of all, I got it all correct. Every single one, from 1 to 5, I got it all correct. So, the top five movies that I predicted was going to be for this past weekend was Rampage is number 1, A Quiet Place number 2, Truth or Dare number 3, Ready Player 1 number 4, and Blockers is number 5. That's exactly how the box office played out, with Rampage taking the number 1 spot with 34 million, and its worldwide total is at 148 million. A Quiet Place went to second place, like what I did there, with this weekend taking in 32 million, and its domestic coming to 99 million, which brings its world total to 151 million. And Truth or Dare hit the number 3 spot. Well, I could say debuted at the number 3 spot with 19 million, which brings its world total to 21 million. Number 4 was Ready Player 1. And it brings this weekend to 11 million, which brings its domestic total to 114 million, and which brings its worldwide to 474 million. And rounding up the top 5 is Blockers with 10 million this past weekend, so its domestic total is at 36 million, which brings its world total to 52 million. And yeah, I am a psychic, but nah, I don't have that all the time. But yeah, I mean, one of the noticeable things is that Black Panther, like I said last weekend, wasn't going to be in the top 5. It had its spot. It stood its ground. It had its legs. Not as long as Jumanji. Jumanji stayed in the top 5 for months. And it was just whatever. But Black Panther, despite, I mean, beside, like, instead of, like, what it did with Jumanji, Black Panther took in over $1 billion. So, yeah, it didn't need to stay in that long. But, yeah, Black Panther actually didn't even get knocked down too far. It was at number 5 last weekend. It got bumped down to number 6. And it made $5 million this weekend. So, it's still an audience of people that's going to go see it. More than likely, it's just people that's haven't seen it yet, haven't had time to go see it, and they just now saying, no, just people that just, let me watch this, because Infinity War is right around the corner. So it's probably like we're going to sit here and watch every single Marvel movie, because I know a lot of people have doing it. I'm trying to do it. I'm going to try and get through all of them and try and get out movie reviews for every single one that I haven't made a review for between this week and next week before Infinity War drops. So, but I know a lot of people are trying to go ahead and get that out the way. And then once it comes to Black Panther, I know a lot of them probably just gonna watch it online, whatever. But I know a lot of people probably like, you know what? Let me go ahead and watch this in theaters. So right after they get through with Thor Ragnarok, like, okay, let's go to the theaters and watch Black Panther. So I mean, it's good that it's still making money. 5 million ain't nothing to snuff at. I feel like it's not going to be in theaters too long because it's supposed to be coming to video actually pretty soon in May. I think May 5th or something like that. Nah, it's something. I don't know. I've got it, but it's coming to DVD and Blu-ray up in May, so it's not that far off. So more than likely, they're going to try and keep it in theaters all the way into that point. Maybe they're going to be like Jumanji and keep it, in theaters, even like a little bit past its like Blu-ray release date. But so you have at number 15. Oh, that's what I was doing. My notes is kind of like And then number 15 was the other movie that came out this weekend, was Sergeant Stubby, an American Hero, which brought in 1.3 million. That was a movie that had no advertisement. I only saw one trailer for it, and I think, what was it? I think I was seeing the movie. I forgot what movie it was, and that was the only time I saw a trailer for that. Other than that, there was no like advertisements, nothing on YouTube, TV, or anything. So I didn't expect that to make any real significant amount of money. And I don't know. Like I think I maybe saw the Rotten Tomatoes. I don't even know how they did, but it's whatever. But I mean, as far as the top 5, I knew Rampage was going to take the number 1 spot. It has The Rock in it. It has a recognizable property, mostly with older generations that played the game Rampage. And it's just a big, crazy monster film. I'm not going to say every one of them going to do really well, but I knew that it was going to take the number 1 spot. And I mean, I heard it's not too bad. I know a lot of people didn't find it, to be the best, but I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I knew it was going to take the number 1 spot. Everyone loves a good action film, especially with The Rock in it. So, yeah, that was going to take it. Quiet Place, I feel it's going to stay up in the top 5, at least for the next few weeks. I feel it's going to quietly just stay up in there. And I'm going to be throwing out a lot of puns when it comes to The Quiet Place. But it's going to quietly stay up in there and just keep to itself. Quiet. It's not going to make any noise. It's just going to sit there and be like, yeah, see what everybody else doing. And it's going to say it that low because it can't make noise because, the creatures will get them. But it's going to stay there for a few weeks. At least, I say 2 weeks after Infinity War is going to be there. But Truth or Dare, I feel like it's going to flounder. I think it's going to get knocked out the top 5. Either this weekend is going to get bumped down to number 5. And I'm not saying that it's going to get moved down. It's just going to get bumped down. So I'm going to tell y'all my predictions because we don't really, like I said before, we don't really have too many movies coming out this week that's major. So it's not going to really get bumped too far. But I feel like it's going to get knocked down to number 5. Either it's going to skip over a movie, or they are going to get moved down. But I'm going to give you my predictions in any case. But I feel like it's not going to, it's at the most, it's not going to be it's not going to be at number 4 by the end of this weekend. It's not. And then Ready Player One is a movie that I recommend a lot of people see. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Really, go check it out. It is a phenomenal movie. I enjoyed it. I've seen it twice. One by myself, and I seen it with my son. My son loved it. I'm just, man, it's a great movie. Go check it out. I cannot stress that enough. If anybody asks me what's good in theaters, and my reply is going to be simply, first off, Ready Player One. Go check it out. If you have not seen it or heard about it, or if you heard about it but you didn't know, you didn't know whether, to go see it and stuff, go see it. It's a great movie. And Blockers, I was pleasantly surprised by that movie. I didn't think that movie was going to be as funny or, get me all into it like it did, and it did. I was watching it. I wasn't overly laughing. Like, it wasn't a point in that movie where I was just sitting there laughing even after, like, the scene ended and just thinking about it, just trying to stop myself from laughing and this. But, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because I was in the auditorium all by myself. So I love that. I had that like 3 times today. Well, not today. Oh my God. I had that 3 times this year. One of them was with my son, and we saw the movie Paddington. And he kept asking me, he's like, Dad, is anybody going to come up in here? Like, I want somebody else to be in here with us. Like, oh my gosh, like, just enjoy it. Like, when we get rich and famous, it's going to have a room just like this. And it's more than likely a lot of times going to be just me and you. So, I mean, enjoy it. So, I mean, Blockers, if you like comedy, you know, if you're looking for something to laugh at, go see Blockers. Blockers is actually pretty good. Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised about it. So, I didn't, yeah, I recommend it. So, I mean, I'm not surprised at the top 10. Like I said, I predicted it last weekend. This was kind of like a no-brainer. I was thinking, going through my mind, like, Truth or Dare, you know, will it, you know, do good? Will it not? Because I know a lot of people, whether or not I think a movie looks good by the trailer, I know a lot of teens would just go see the movie because it looks like it's scary. You know, a lot of people don't analyze and, you know, just critique movies like I do, or my brother, or anybody that just study film or something like that, like a movie critic. A lot of people just go in there, enjoy it or not enjoy it, and just say, I don't like it because this person was doing this and doing that, and they just mention everything on the surface and just enjoy it like that. And that's what a lot of teens will do. They'll tell you certain stuff that they don't like about it, but it's more of just everything that's on the surface. But in any case, yeah, like, I was just going through it in my mind, but I'm like, I don't think this is going to take the number 2 spot, especially when you got a movie like A Quiet Place, and the, pardon the pun, but the noise that A Quiet Place made in its first weekend, it wasn't going to get taken over by Truth or Dare. So it's like, if you're going to see a movie that has big buzz about it, A Quiet Place, and a movie that, in my eyes, look like it's not that good, and you know, it's probably just stupid horror, you know, and then leading up to it, even after I did the podcast, like, leading up to it, the stuff I was hearing about it wasn't that good. So I'm like, which one will I go see? You know, if I haven't seen either one of those movies, and it come Thursday, do I go see Quiet Place or Truth or Dare? I'm gonna go see A Quiet Place, just because of the noise that it made. So, I mean, it's whatever. And like I said, I'm gonna keep throwing out the puns. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by it. But let's go ahead and get into what's coming out this week. And so, like I said, it's not too many big movies. Not saying that these movies are just trash or just, you know, throwaway movies, but compared to this past weekend and the weekend before then, and then next weekend, you know, these kind of like, I just kind of like one of those movies that's in between. We got a comedy first off by a new comedy by Amy Schumer called I Feel Pretty, and it's just about her playing a character that, you know, she's like a bigger girl or whatever. She's not like pretty like or beautiful like, you know, the public would put out in, you know, magazines and TV and stuff like that. And so she's working to try and get to where she get her body looking good. And so an accident ends up happening where she ends up bumping her head or, you know, whatever. And after that, she ends up seeing herself in a beautiful form. She sees herself how she sees the models on TV that she aspires to be. So she goes around just carefree and just knowing that she's beautiful. And it looks interesting. If I'm able to, you know, go out and just, you know, I feel like seeing a movie and go see it, I probably might. Which, you know, I probably might do it. You know, out of the 3 movies, that's one of the movies that I say is kind of like second on my list to check out. But, I mean, it looks interesting. It has a 50-50 chance of being good. It may be good, it may not be. I don't know. I'll give it a chance, but I don't particularly feel like I should rush out to go see this movie. This is a movie that you just do on a weekday. Or it's just like, I feel like going to the movies. Let me go see that. And that's it. You know, you got your movie pass. Bam, you ain't got to pay for it. You know, whatever. I don't know. I might check it out. The next movie is Super Troopers 2. This one I really don't care for. I really don't. I don't even know if I'm gonna go see it. I really don't. The trailers, wasn't a fan of the first one. I don't really care about this one either. You know, it's, I mean, if you like this, if this your type of humor, if you was a fan of the first one, cool, all fine and dandy. But this just really doesn't get my goat. It really doesn't. It doesn't. The trailer didn't grab me. It didn't make me laugh, and I don't know. And it's just about the Super Troopers. I forget what it's about because I watched the trailers and it's just, I don't know. But you know, it's just, I don't know. Go watch it. If this is one of your type of movies, go watch it. It's not mine. I don't care too much for it. And then the other movie that's coming out is Traffic. And this is, out of the three, this is the one that I would say, if I had to go see all three of these movies, or basically if I had to go see all three of these movies, which one would I go see? This would be the first one on the docket. This one I'll be first to go see. But if I had to choose between these three, like Thursday comes, I get to only see one. This one I'll be probably seeing. This the one out of all three of those movies look like it's gonna be good, at least decent enough. We got Omar Epps and Paula Patton up in there, amongst some other people, and it's just these couple ends up getting thrown into this thing with these people that they meet at the gas station, and it's this whole thing that just happens and stuff like that. It looks pretty good. I don't know. I might end up go checking it out. I don't know if it's gonna be Thursday or just later on, but it looks like a movie that I would probably check out. That it will probably be good. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, Omar Epps hasn't really starred in a major film or just a theatrical film in years. So I don't know how he's gonna do. I mean, he is a good actor. But he hasn't really done anything of note. Paula Patton, she's been more recent, but she hasn't really done anything too recent or too big recently. So I don't know. I could go into this and be like, have an average expectation, and then just go in and be like, that was actually better than what I thought, and really enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to it. But getting that all out the way, let me go ahead and get into these box office. That way I can get into the first quarter review. So for this coming weekend box office predictions, this is what I think is going to happen. I think that Rampage is going to stay at number 1. I think that A Quiet Place is going to stay at number 2. Now, this is a big gamble and a big risk, because any one of the three movies has a big chance of taking the number 1, 2 or 2 spot, or at least both of them. So yeah, I think what is going to be, Rampage is going to be a number 1. Number 2 is going to be A Quiet Place. Number 3 is going to be I Feel Pretty. Number 4 is going to be Traffic. And number 5 is going to be Super Troopers 2. I know that's a big gamble. I'm not a big fan of Amy Schumer. I'm not rushing out to go see a whole bunch of her movies. It looked interesting. It got a decent premise. But it's not something I'm going to rush to go see it. Maybe not even this weekend. But I know she pulls in a big majority of people. But I know her last movie, Snatched. I think that's what it is. Because it was a whole bunch of movies like Snatched and then Snatched. Or whatever her last movie was, where her and her mom, she plays a character where her and her mom end up getting lost somewhere or kidnapped or whatever. I don't know. But I know that didn't do good. And we're coming off the heels of that, because I think that was the last movie that she did. And so it's like, I don't know if a lot of people are going to be rushing out to see this. But I don't think it's going to take the number 2 or 3 spot. It may end up, I don't think it's going to take number 1 or 2 spot. But it may end up doing it, but I don't know. Traffic, I don't know, that has it to probably be number 2. I might be putting my foot in my mouth or whatever, but I just think it's going to be a number 4. And Super Troopers, like I said, I really don't care. I don't even know if it's really a big audience for Super Troopers. It may not even be in the top 5. I don't know if there was anybody asking for this, but it was just, I don't know. That's going to be number 5. So, yeah, those are my predictions. Number 1, Rampage. Number 2, A Quiet Place. Number 3, I Feel Pretty. Number 4, Traffic. And number 5, Super Troopers 2. So, yeah. So, hopefully next week I'm right. like I was this weekend. And let's try and go for 3 in a row, which I don't know, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and get into this first quarter of this year's movie and review for 2018. So when it comes down to it, I didn't see every single movie that came out within the first 3 months. It was certain movies that I really didn't care for. It was certain movies that once I was like, I might go see it. I looked up, it wasn't in theaters no more. And then it was a one movie that I wanted to see, but I kept missing it because I had to work. And then it was really like poorly advertised and marketed. So it wasn't really playing at that many theaters, not even just for that long. It was playing at a theater near where I was for like maybe a week or two. And I didn't find my way to the movie theater. And by the time I wanted to go see it, the time it was playing was at the time I was still still at work. And then the closest one was like a good little mile. So I was like, damn, do I want to go that far? It's just, and then by the time I made time to do it, it was already out of theaters and it wasn't playing really nowhere else that was really close. So, and I don't even know when it's coming to DVD. But in any case, some of the movies that I didn't see yet. Actually, 3 of them come to mind. 50 Shades Freed. I really don't care too much to see that. I really don't. I've contemplated whether I wanted to see it when it was in theaters, close to the end of its run. And I just made the decision. I don't want to. I really don't. I would go if there was somebody else, preferably a girl, there to go with me. But I just, at the end of the day, I really didn't want to see it. I really didn't. I may catch it on DVD or something, but I didn't care for it. Another movie was Forever My Girl. That was a movie that's kind of like a Nicholas Sparks type movie. I don't even know if it is a Nicholas Sparks story, but that's what it seemed like. My neck. But it was like I don't know, it really didn't seem like my type of movie. And that was just one of those movies where that was the movie that I was referring to when I said that, when I made the decision where I wanted to go see it, I looked up and it wasn't in theaters no more. So I was like, oh, well, too bad. And the other movie that I wanted to see, but it kept eluding me and I wasn't able to catch it in theaters was this movie called, I don't know if I pronounced it right, Biolo? I think Biolo. I don't know. Anyway, but it was just an animation movie, and it was just kind of more of like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just kind of like it seemed like the Moses story. This slave ends up basically getting adopted by another family, and he comes from a slave family, but he ends up getting adopted by another family, and he grows up with a royal family, and then all this stuff and whatever. It seemed like the Bible story, the Moses story. So, and I don't know. I wanted to see it, but I kept missing it. So, yeah, it's whatever. And so those are just the movies that I didn't see that really come to mind. I know Hostiles came out this year, but that was a 2017 release. It just went worldwide this year. So I'm not even going to count that, even if I did see it. But that wraps up those movies. Let's talk about the movies that I did see, and then just give you briefly. Going down the line, a lot of these is in order, I believe. I don't know. I just wrote them in the order that I saw them. But Insidious: The Last Key. Insidious: The Last Key is the 4th movie within the Insidious movie franchise and stuff. And this movie I really enjoyed. I did. It was certain parts I was like, whatever. But as far as being scary, creepy, and all that stuff, it did it the way it was supposed to do it. And I enjoyed it with that. Paddington 2 was a movie that really surprised me. That was a movie that I was not really expecting too much from it. I heard a lot about the first one, that the first one was good, but when it came to part two. It's like, this is a movie take my son to go see. And I ended up enjoying it. I really did. I was like, this is a really good movie. I'm not even going to knock it. It was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. The Commuter was pretty good. It wasn't the best movie. It was one of those movies. It was a nice little thriller. Gave you a little turn. Gave you a little suspense, a little twist at the end. And I liked it. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. But I did enjoy it. Proud Mary, that was just, it was a good attempt to put Taraji in another form, another type of character that's different from what she usually plays. But it was just a poor execution. That movie was just bad. Just bad. It was I shook my head just asking me questions like, why, what, that didn't make any sense. Like, what the hell was going on? Oh my gosh, it's just out of the movies. Den of Thieves was actually pretty good. I liked it. It was better than what I thought it was. I didn't think it was going to be that good, but I ended up enjoying it, because I think I saw that within the same week I saw Proud Mary, and that ended up being a better movie. It really did. I didn't really care too much for both of them, but Den of Thieves surprised me. Maze Runner: The Death Cure was actually pretty damn good. I enjoyed the Maze Runner series. The second one was kind of like my least favorite, but it wasn't like bad, it wasn't like horrible. It just had a lot of problems. But the first one and this one was like the best ones. And this was a really good movie. 12 Strong was a movie that wasn't a movie that I really would go see, but I just wanted to check it out and see what it's about and everything else. And I actually ended up liking it. Chris Hemsworth. It wasn't like a movie that, if you like Thor, or if you like Chris Hemsworth as Thor, you're gonna love this movie. It wasn't one of them type of movies. It was okay. It was good. I enjoyed it for what it was. I wasn't too buzzed about it. I wasn't like, oh my God, that changed my life. It was okay. I liked it. Winchester was disappointing. That movie, I thought it was going to be scarier than what it was. It wasn't. It was just cheap scares. It was a whole bunch of cheapness to it. It really didn't kick off until the end. And by then, it was like, do I care? It was one of those type of movies. Cloverfield Paradox. I'm including that in there because that's a 2018 release film. Came out on Netflix. I'm not even on front. I haven't been up on the storyline of Cloverfield and all that stuff. I mean, I've seen all the movies, but I haven't been like the ones that's sitting in the back connecting the tissues. Like, you see that in that movie, this connects that and that's that, blah, blah, blah. So by the time I end up seeing the movie, it was like, I understand. I had to go on YouTube and have somebody like basically put the pieces together, because I literally didn't know what the hell to make of it. I'm seeing a guy get trapped up in the wall, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is weird as hell. But when it came down to it, it's like, I like it, but it was kind of weird, and it puts in perspective. It was a twist to where I didn't see JJ taking the whole series, but at the same time, it was like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I'll explain it more. Maybe if I do like once I do my review, if I do a spoiler, I might talk a little bit more about it. But I mean, that's what it is. Early Man was a movie that was disappointing. I ain't gonna say disappointing, because I didn't expect too much of it. I really didn't care for it. I saw it with my son early screening, and it was just, it was okay. We saw the movie, and that's I didn't like it. I really didn't. It wasn't one of those movies where I was like, I'll go see it again. I just leave it there. Peter Rabbit, pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it. Saw it twice with my son. Though the second time, it wasn't like because I loved it so much I wanted to go see it again with my son. I was tricked the second time. My son, he likes playing the games at the arcade. And I don't know if your movie theater is like mine, but I know a lot of movie theaters have arcades in them. He tricked me to tell me that he wanted to go to the movies because he wanted to go see Peter Rabbit. Or at first he said Early Man, but Early Man wasn't playing at the theater that was near us. So he was like, he wanted to go see Peter Rabbit and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, let's go see this. As soon as we get in there, after I purchased the ticket, we get in there, he runs straight to the arcade. I'm like, that's why. I understand it now. I'm not now I'm not stupid. Now I'm not stupid. From now on, now I know. It's like he tricked me just so he can go play in the arcade. So yeah, that was the second time. But I ain't mind it because I really enjoyed Peter Rabbit. Black Panther, damn good movie. Damn good movie. It was one of those movies where it was kind of like an iceberg. You see what's on the surface when you have your expectations. It looks big, but not that big or whatever. And you expect it, just to see what you see on the surface. You actually go see the movie, there's more under the surface. The movie is deeper than what it gives off. But yeah, it was one of the best MCU films that they have out. One of the top 5, I'll say, within the MCU movies. Annihilation was a big disappointment for me. I know a lot of people loved it. A lot of people praise it and saying it was bold and this and that. I didn't like it. I understood it, of course. I just didn't like it. I just thought that it did a lot of stuff wrong. The advertisement was off. It gave you one aspect that you expect to see this movie. It basically, when you look at the trailers, you figure that it will be a sci-fi horror film, which it's not. It's a sci-fi thriller, in a sense. It only has really one horror, maybe 2 horror aspects to it, but majority of it's just a sci-fi film, just a thriller. That's it. And really not a lot of thrills to go through it, but it was disappointing. Game night, big surprise. I've mentioned before that I'm not a person that really kind of like go and just really be on like comedies and stuff. But I've been giving a lot of movies a lot of chance. Like I mentioned, a lot of movies in this list. That a lot of movies that probably last year or the year before I wouldn't have cared to go see. It's a lot of movies that I still want to catch up from last year. There's a lot of movies that I've seen last year. There's a lot of movies that I've seen this year that just surprised me. I'm like, man, my movie tastes have changed. I really didn't care for comedies, but I see a comedy. Oh, that look interesting. Let me go see that. Like I probably would have never seen Blockers like 2-3 years ago. I probably would have never seen Game Night 2-3 years ago, or 12 Strong, or movies like that. But yeah, so Game Night, I was pleasantly surprised. I wasn't blown away by it by everyone else, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed it. It was good. Samson, I know it really didn't have that much advertisement and all that stuff, but it's close to a superhero movie. So it's a Bible based movie about Samson and in the Bible and how in just his story and stuff. So I want to go check it out. I liked it. It had a lot of problems. It was very low budget and it showed, but I enjoyed the little bit that it had to offer. Every Day, that was a movie that I was really curious about, really interested. It has a very good premise. Actually, it has a very interesting premise. And I was like, let me go check this out. And I did like it. I really did. It was a movie that I probably would have never seen last year or the year before. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. Death Day. Oh, Death Day. Death Day. Whew. So Death Wish. I went from calling it Death Note on accident to now calling it Death Day. So yeah, I'm just missing the happy Death Day. But in any case, so Death Wish was a movie that I thought that was going to be probably really good. It ended up being average. I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it. It was kind of like stupid fun, but it wasn't the best. But I enjoyed it for what it was. Red Sparrow was a movie that you kind of have to bear with it. You go into it thinking that you're going to expect some type of action, but when you look at the trailer, a lot of times the trailer tells a lot. If you go see a movie and you have this type of vibe that it's an action film, and you think that it is an action film, but if you look at the trailer and it doesn't really show any action, then don't expect any action, But if it's like action scene, then yeah, you're going to expect action in it. And if it don't deliver, then you're sad. But I went to this movie knowing that, it's not going to be an action film. And so just went in and accepted it for what it was. It was a pretty decent movie. I liked it. A lot of times, like, this is a movie that I'm probably going to have to watch twice because a lot of stuff, this is one of them type of movies where you have to pay attention to names, certain things that's happening, or else you will be lost by the end of the movie. But yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. Jennifer Lawrence acted her ass off, and I really did. I liked it. Plus, you get nude, so that's a plus. Then we got Hurricane Heist, which is a sci-fi original film. It's just Hurricane Heist. I mean, the name says it all. It's like Meg. Meg and Jason Statham starring in the movie Meg about a megalodon shark. The name says it all. This is just a little bit of a high budget sci-fi original film. That's really what it was. The Strangers Prey at Night, horrible film, horrible, bad. A Wrinkle in Time was a movie that was okay. I liked it. It wasn't. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more. I enjoyed it though. I liked it. It wasn't a movie that I would go see twice, or even watch twice if it's on TV, unless I don't got nothing to do. But I liked it, just for what it was. Gringo was a movie I fucking enjoyed. I really enjoyed. This is a movie that, just like the movies I had stated a little bit ago about movies that I probably wouldn't have seen last year or the year before or 5 years. This was one of those movies, but I'm glad I saw it because I enjoyed the hell out of it. I left that movie theater like, that was a good movie. It had a good, just everything about it was just good. It was just good. Thoroughbreds was a weird movie, very weird, just all around weird. But I enjoyed it. It's one of those movies that's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. If you enjoy film and, just, acting, them Oscar bait movies, then you probably like this film. Or you're probably interested in checking out the film. But this film is not for everybody. But I enjoyed it. Tomb Raider was better. Was good. Was really good. Better than what I expected. I guess you could say it was up there to one of the top 5 best video game movies. Since we don't have that many, it doesn't take that much for it to be up there. So I would put that in like a top 5, whatever. I mean, yeah. Unsane was good. It was really good, especially being shot all on an iPhone. It was actually pretty damn good. I enjoyed it. I felt like, well, I ain't going to get into it. I ain't going to try and talk too long because I'm going to try and end this podcast a little bit. Well, in a little bit, going longer than what I wanted to. Unsane, I enjoyed the film. I really did. Thought it was real good for how it was. It just seemed like a movie that probably would have been better served on Netflix, if you feel me. Just in, not even just how it was shot, because it was you could tell it was really low budget, but just in how it ends, it was just, this is a movie that could have been on Netflix, and it probably would have been good. Something that people just go by like, Unsane, what is this? I mean, you can see it being, whatever, but I mean, I enjoyed it. Pacific Rim 2, I liked it. Not as much as I liked the first one. I liked it. It was good action. Good dumb action. I keep biting my tongue. That's why, it sounds like I'm kind of like half saying stuff. But it was good, dumb, fun action. I enjoyed it. Sherlock Gnomes, that was a movie where it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I liked it better than what I thought I was going to do. It was just more for my son, just taking him to go see it, spend some time with him, and he liked it. And it's like, that was a movie that, I enjoyed it, but, I couldn't care if I saw it again, what's the next? Only got 2 more movies. Moon Knight. That's a whole different other movie, and that came out a couple years ago. No, that was last year, wasn't it? I don't know. But in any case, Midnight Sun. That movie reminds me of that movie that came out last year, Everything, which was actually pretty good. This movie was okay. It was okay. It was like they went to try and do something, and they executed it to the best of their abilities, but it just didn't hit the mark all the way. But it was enjoyable. And the last movie on the list, number 29, is Ready Player One. And like I said, this movie I loved. Cannot stress it enough. If you have not seen it, go check it out. It was freaking phenomenal. Even just by just any standards, just phenomenal. So if you have not seen it, go check it out. Still in theaters. This is, yeah, it's a fucking good ass movie. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and that majority of the movies, well, a lot of the movies I did find really good. I really loved. I really liked, or I thought it was good or whatever. And it was just like maybe a handful or a little bit more of movies where I was just like, yeah. But also, I also forgot another movie that came out that I didn't see that, I just really didn't care on seeing. I probably might end up seeing it, or, when it comes out on DVD, if it's not out already, is that 1517 to Paris, about the real life situation where some vets end up stopping like this hijacking of a train or something like that. And they're actually portrayed by the real people who were in that situation. Now, I heard not too many good things about the movie, so that kind of like put me off on really wanting to see it. And so I just kind of made the decision of not to seeing it because I didn't really want to waste my time if it's not that good. But I still might end up checking it out. But other than that, yeah. I mean, I liked a lot more movies than what I thought I was going to like. And I ended up not liking movies that I thought I was going to like. So, I mean, that's the thing about movies. That's the beautiful thing about movies. You never know what to expect. You can hear a lot about a movie. You can be like, this, you can hear from every single person that you talk to about this movie that this movie is the best. This movie is like the greatest thing on earth. It'll change your life. And you go see the movie and then you're like, it was okay. Or you probably don't even like the movie. Like, that movie was horrible. So that's the thing about movies. Like, a lot of times your expectations are met, exceeded, or just you're disappointed by it, So you never know. You never know. And that's what I've had this year. I've been disappointed by certain movies I had high expectations for. It's movies that I had some expectations for and it's just been met. And then others that I just been disappointed, And, it's just, everything is, I don't know, everything is just the way it is. You either accept it or you don't, And I accept movies are going to be the way they are. I'm going to like them. I'm not going to like them. Hopefully that I come across some more movies that exceed my expectations that I really just didn't have too much expectations for. And they end up just like blowing me away and stuff like that. So hopefully I come across more movies like that. But in any case, that wraps up this episode, this long episode of the Take One podcast. I hope you guys like what I was talking about in this episode. I'm going to try to come out with like 2 more episodes of the Take One podcast. I have some more stuff I wanted to get on. Like I said before on the previous podcast, a good little while ago. I don't know which one. But I had mentioned that I always do this thing where, like, going into the next month, I always put out a thing on there with, like, what will dominate this coming month. And I'll just put, like, top 5 movies that I think are going to dominate that month. So, I'm basically going to be doing, like, just talking about what dominated January, what dominated February, what dominated March. And then I'm going to be talking about next month, what dominated this month. Which we already know is going to dominate this month. But when it comes down to it, it's like, man, it's like I'm just going to just basically talk about it. I kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, I'm going to be starting to not only talking about what will dominate, but what did dominate. See if I was right. Kind of like predictions or whatever. I mean, that's essentially what it is. Just predictions. So I'm just gonna go back and look at my predictions on what I thought would dominate if I had any predictions for that, and then recently now I'm about to start comparing everything. So there's really not anything else. So just go ahead and end it right there, and I will catch you guys on the next one. And yeah, thank you for listening, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.